Welcome back to the channel. My name's Frank, and this is the 850B track loader we picked up in the last video. It's a one owner machine, so let's just do a quick walk around of this. It's got a general purpose bucket, missing a few shanks for the teeth, and the corner's bent up, but it seems to be in decent shape. Probably gonna have to end up repacking all these cylinders. We got good sprockets on the tracks. Pads appear to be quite worn. We're down to the bolt heads. Probably an original undercarriage, I would guess. Our pins look okay. Idler looks all right. Got rock guards down at the bottom. Three shank ripper. Could run two more for $5. I'd say this side's probably about the same condition as far as the tracks. We got some janky wiring we gotta take a look at. We'll have to get a different seat and armrests. Got 5,100 hours. So we got the throttle, fuel shut off, lights over here. I think this is, never actually ran one of these. I think this is forward and reverse maybe, and this is high and low for the tracks. And then down here we have high and low also. A parking brake. We got steering brakes, an accelerator on a case. Hydraulic tank is over on this side, fuel tank's over on that side. This is your ripper lever and then your bucket control. This has the case engine. So all the equipment pretty much had the fuel siphoned out of it. Probably to be expected when fuel is up towards $5 a gallon. I put a couple gallons in it the other day. We couldn't get it going again. So this is some fuel I ended up having to drain out of the F800 because we ended up with a hole in the tank. And I didn't want it to keep leaking on our drive home, so we got about 3 gallons out of it. And this is all the stuff off the bottom. So I got one of these fuel filter funnels. So it's got a well in it so that any water goes to the bottom, and then a screen to catch any debris. So we'll get a few gallons in here. We'll take the engine cover off. Get some batteries in it. And then bleed the fuel system, get it fired up, and then we'll be able to test the functions in this. I have not driven this machine. It was buried in concrete. I'll put a little picture of how we found it. Alright, so we're going to get this section of the hood off. Alright, that's not going to do it. Oh. Got to make sure we never seize these, putting them back on, because that was ridiculous. Alright, we can get to the top of the engine now. Oh. Our exhaust elbow's rotted out. Ruh-roh. So, guess got to clean out along these injector lines so we can break them free. A little tight. Ugh. That's loose. We got this burnt piece of wire there. Not sure what that's about. Let's try to get this fire hazard off of here. Did that loosen up? Yep. Alright, so there's that lug. Alright, we got that out of the way. Now, you can see why they stopped using this, because this is burnt up. So we'll just tighten that up for now. Let's try this. Alright, I don't think that's going to burn anything down, but it might. So the batteries are under the seat on this. There we go. This is a 24-volt system. That looks like that's supposed to be our hold down, is these in the back. You just slide them forward and it pinches the battery. This needs a couple group 31s. This is our positive, so I guess I'll put
So we're going to have to, at some point here, we'll crimp eyelets on the end of these cables so that we got stud top connections. Over here. Lose that. Then this goes on here. Okay. Positive on. Yep, that broke off. All right. A little bit more flexible jumper here. A little bit more flexible jumper. The other one made from when the batteries are like side by side. Spark test. Seems all right. All right.
Start switch on these is in front of the controls. So everything's got to be in neutral, and then you can flip this plate up, and then you can hit the button. That does nothing. Alright, we're just going to use our remote switch to get this thing fired up. Alright, so over here we have our 2 fuel filters. And then the fuel shutoff is on the back side of this pump. I think that's all the way on. We got our primer over here. We're getting some air. Oh. Okay, we're still getting air. We'll try that. We get anything out of these injector lines. Everything's in neutral. We should be safe there. Let's see if we start getting fuel up here. Yeah, oil's good. All right, here we go. Starting to see a little bit there. That one's getting wet. All right, try it again. So one's getting fuel really good. I don't see any of the other ones. There we go. I see fuel at all four. I think we'll try it. All right. See if it fires up. It's gonna go. Woo! I think we're gonna fire right up. There we go. Come on. Let's get some hydraulic oil in this. So we'll get some oil in this so that we can get the bucket off the ground. Yeah, we need quite a bit more, but we got some leaks to fix. Oh yeah, getting better. So this throttle lever and that accelerator pedal are supposed to work together. So you could set the throttle, where you want it, or you could leave it down at idle and mash on the throttle pedal to run this machine. So it's pretty simple. This is your accelerator pedal, and then this is the throttle lever on the left side here. And the problem is this is seized to this shaft, so they're moving together. What's supposed to happen is this arm is supposed to push down on that angle that's back there, and the foot throttle like overrides the hand throttle, so you go past it, but when you let off the foot throttle, it goes back to where you set the hand throttle, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pull this clevis pin to the hand throttle and see if I can work this shaft free. Come on, hands, work. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we're getting real good now. There we go. That's what we want. That's the way it's supposed to be. So we got the throttle all freed up. That's the foot throttle, and that's the hand throttle. Working nice. So now if we gotta go partial throttle, then you can still work the foot throttle. Fire this old girl up. Not bad. Oh, we're in gear. Whoops. Ready? Whew. So it's looking like the easiest way to do these ripper cylinders is going to be to pull the entire cylinder. The other option would be to that's nice. Welded the pin in. It's supposed to have a little bolt-on keeper like this. Cylinders up front, I think we can just pull the rods. So our no start condition with the key was caused by these set of circuit breakers. They've failed open. So I got some new circuit breakers to put on there. And then I think what caused that is this alternator. I got this set to continuity. So if you listen, this is the output from the alternator. We've got continuity to ground. So this alternator, the output shorted to the case. And I think that went back up through the wiring and down here, and that tripped the circuit breakers and eventually led to their failure. So we got the two circuit breakers replaced. Gonna work on replacing this battery master switch. Just gotta take the cables off and unscrew it from the panel there, and then we're gonna replace these terminal ends with eyelets. Got the battery disconnect switch installed. I'm going to take this alternator off and see what we got going on with our short. I wonder why this wasn't working well. So I'm going to go after the worst cylinders first. Somebody's got this pretty buggered up. Looks like they were in here with a punch. Honestly, we might have to do that again. I got this pin spanner. Yeah, that's about how it's gonna go. Let's go down and try this one. Think this has been leaking a while? Look at all that. Come on, little buddy. These things never work. Blow these two bolts off the back, and then I believe the pins will come out the outside. They're mounted to these outside plates. There's one. I'm going to try this big impact. Well, it did it. So a thing that I found that helps with an impact is if you hold onto the socket so it's not rattling, the impacts actually go right into the bolt instead of just bouncing off. Alright, let me get something to put across the hood. So I got this pin spanner, and I got these glands loose the other day with just punch and chisel. So now we'll just spin these out. And then we'll have to catch all the oil. Here we come. Oh, chunks of seal coming out. Now when the piston comes out, you usually get a river. Oh my god. Getting too old. Moves a little easy. Like to get these loader ones off too. Then I can work on this at night. I got this one ripper broke free too, but that's going to be a little bit more involved because we have to take the barrel out because of the way the linkage is on this. Or I have to pull the top linkage and roll the ripper down. But I want to get these 4 main loader cylinders done first. I think I could pull it out the rest of the way. Yep. I think we'll leave it right there until we get this gland loose the rest of the way. Oh, here we come. Oh, hope it's not too much more. Oh, we just made it. Oh. This is the bucket cylinder. Got it apart. Pretty simple. You know, these are easy to do. Just this one has a bolt. Some of them have a nut and the end of the rod's threaded. So this is probably the toughest part of this whole job, is getting this bolt out. I ended up using a big pipe on the end of the ratchet. The other one that looked like it was rebuilt already, I was able to use the impact on. So this just has 2 wear bands. Then the piston seal goes in the middle, and it's got a O-ring backup. So these are the wear bands. This is the backup here, the soft rubber one, and then this is the actual piston seal. So not much to that. And then for the gland, you got the wiper. The next one in here is the wear band. And then you got your U-cup seal, which was this one here. You just put the cup towards the pressure, and the fluid pushes against that and helps it seal. So we're just going to go throw these together, and I'll work on the next one. I'm not going to show you guys every single one of them because it's the same thing over and over again. These piston rings can be a pain. Sometimes it helps to heat them up in oil. What I usually do is I put a piston ring compressor around it. Try to get it to go back to its normal shape. So just let it sit and see what it does. Now we gotta get the wear band out of the gland. There's that. So we still gotta get this shell from the wiper out. All right, we're gonna clean that up. Try to clean these holes up too. So we got this O-ring on the outside, and then I think that's a backup for the O-ring. Yep, there's the backup. I didn't see it at first. So you got the O-ring and the backup on the outside here. And it looks like they injected some kind of nylon to act as like a lock for this gland. There's no set screw or anything like that on the outside of this. So it's kind of different. It's a little proud. So I'll get this cleaned up and then we'll start installing the new seals in this piece. So we're all cleaned up. Wear band is super loose in there. See if I can spread it out a little bit. Using this pick to go around, it'll stop you from rolling the O-ring. Ended up putting a hose clamp around it to hold that on there. Then that goes there. And we're gonna Loctite this on. I don't want to see that coming off. We're fancy, we got gel. I didn't even know I had this. Should be enough, I hope. Damn mess. That's nice and tight around there. That should be good. Now I'll bring the other one over. We'll do that. We'll put it back on the machine. And then we'll do the same for the loader lift cylinders and the ripper cylinders. So I don't think I need to show you guys all that, but I'll show you putting this back in the barrel at least. I cleaned up the leading edge of this barrel so we don't mess with any of the seals there. Couple squirts of oil. Piston. Let's see if we can work this in. We're going. That's what we wanted. Just gotta go a little bit more. Ow. So I'm going to go through and do the rest of the cylinders, put this all back together. I don't think you guys really want to see that. It's pretty simple. We're just going to do the same thing with the loader cylinders. And while I had these in the garage, I did pump grease through them, made sure the fittings were free. This video is probably getting a little long right now, so I'm going to have to make another part to this. There's still quite a bit left to do. I gotta fix the exhaust, the alternator, go through some more of the electrical stuff. There's something up with the brakes, the previous owner said. And probably put a couple bucket teeth on it that are missing. So a bunch of little odds and ends. I'd probably make another full video out of it. And probably be nice to service it and pressure wash it, put the belly pans back under it, that kind of stuff. There will be a video coming out on this F800 dump truck soon. I got some work to do to this to make it pass inspection. Same with this International, we got some framework to do. 850B dozer, that's coming as well. So we've got plenty of videos that I've been working on, but haven't had the time to complete with my work schedule and the way the weather's been. We've got 3 or 4 days of snow coming this week, so I just wanted to try to get these cylinders back on to finish out this video. I also thought about, for this machine, making the sweeps for the loader like the dozer has. I think crawlers with sweeps on them look pretty good. And for those who don't know, this is like if you're working around trees or stuff like that, it'll raise the limbs up over the top of the ROPS without clearing out the exhaust in your intake and all that stuff and getting trees in your face. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content, and you'll stick around for some future videos on this stuff. If you're enjoying this, why don't you let me know so I know what to keep producing and maybe what I should back away from a little bit. I really do enjoy all the comments you guys leave, and hearing some of the stories about some of you guys that work with some of this old equipment, mainly the cable shovels and stuff like that. All right, so I'm going to get back to it and knock out these other couple cylinders hopefully today, and I'll see you guys at the next video.